Episode 2 of Pimp My Sled coming soon. Picked up a 2x4 and a 2x6. So I'm gonna cut four 1 foot 2x6 chunks that will go one on each side of the back, and then the other ones will go just a bit further up on the skis. Trying to keep everything to the back. That way I can get, when I'm towing, I'll keep those skis up on top of the snow, try and make it as easy as possible. That's the idea. Once I have those pieces on there, I'm going to connect them across, like two crossbars that are going to be cut by the 2x4. And what I'm going to do is try and cut a notch into the 2x6. So instead of like drilling on top, I want it to like sit in, and I'm going to use these bolts so it'll be constantly in the 2x4, so I can just take the 2x4 out and then put it back into the 2x6, try and be able to take it apart when I put it in my car. And then just got a couple of these rings to put in the side for the bungee cord to attach to. Might take a couple days, but at least trying to get the stuff together anyway. That's kind of the general idea at the moment I have of it. Didn't have to go so big, I feel like. I didn't need a whole foot of those. Maybe I'll trim them off, we'll see. Just the only thing, if anyone has an idea. Like I said, I wanted to cut a notch in here for this to sit like inside the 2x6. And a friend mentioned maybe I just drill two screws in beside it and use that as the notch. I would obviously rather it sit in there. But I don't know if I have the tool or I'll be able to cut something like that. Any opinions how the best way to cut a notch out would be much appreciated. Definitely want to countersink the screws. I bought a little bit to do that. Thankfully there is a little groove in here, so it makes it easy to put them, keep them in the middle of the ski. So I just put this piece right next to it, just kind of got an eyeball of where I wanted my 4 screws, and then left room in the middle for the bolt to keep it all in there. Well, got the back 2 pieces on. Rookie tip 1: when you're drilling, I mean, you can see the knots obviously when it's clear like this, but when you're drilling up and through, you don't always see them. And I am now I have 1 less drill bit. Did not like going into that thing and snapped off in it. Away she goes. Alright, so got all the legs done on. So I've marked, I put everything the way I want to, and then marked the cross beams, because I'm gonna have to take it apart and figure to drill holes for these to sit in. I don't think I have a drill bit thick enough to pull this off, so I might have to phone a friend and put this on pause for a bit. So probably I'll just put the rings I have for the bungees on here, and that might be it for today for me. So I've got the rings all installed. Phoned a friend to get a bit. So anyway, so instead of making those notches, I just cut and placed and drilled in a couple of pieces of wood to create my own little notch, and so far it seems good. If you see this and you're thinking, oh, I don't have any carpentry skills, I don't know how I'm gonna pull off something like this. If I were to come in close and show you some of my cuts and stuff, trust me, I am terrible at this stuff. And just some patience and just somewhere to make a cut, and make sure you just measure a couple times. So far I haven't run any issues, but definitely not sexy, I'll tell you that. This is probably the most important part here, getting the carriage bolts lined up and everything, because I think that's the one thing you won't have wiggle room for. So I measured the distance from the back to the back, the middle, and the front. I think I measured 4 different places just to make sure it is exactly how I want it to be, because there's no going back here. So everything works. Should pop out like that. I want to replace it. Just now time for the ropes on the tops of the skis, and that's it. So, I mean, I'd say I'm pretty happy with it. Everything's stuck together. Obviously, I'm going to bungee that thing on when I'm actually using it, but the only rookie mistake I made was I put these bungee loops on the back here, and That's probably where I want to sit the thing right there. So those aren't going to do me any good, so I'll probably just move them to here and they'll be good to go. I also like the fact that I got a little extra space here to be able to put the auger on one side too. One minor mistake, if I did it again, I would drill the holes in the 2x4 a little tighter, because these bolts now, the carriage bolts, they don't sit in like I was kind of hoping. If I hammered them in, they would stay in there, but the hole's too big, so I'm just gonna have to figure out a way for that, or they just come out and it makes it even more easier to store.